She vanished on a peaceful garden path, but what police uncovered beneath the soil left the entire town frozen in terror. This wasn't just a kidnapping, it was a nightmare hiding in plain sight. Before we go any further, I would like to express my gratitude for your support of our channel. It means a lot to us that you chose to watch our video. Please let us know where you are watching from before we proceed. Put your nation or city below. Additionally, if this is your first visit, remember to subscribe and like. Savannah Johnson wasn't a girl people forgot easily. She was 20 years old, full of life, and one of those rare souls whose laughter had its own gravitational pull. Her friends described her as fearless, vibrant, and unshakably bold. Her family said she was warm, nurturing, and full of determination. Savannah was the kind of young woman people expected to go far, to travel, to study, to inspire. In the summer of 2019, her life was on the edge of something exciting. She had been accepted into an exchange program in Spain through Midland University. She talked constantly about her upcoming move, the people she wanted to meet, the places she wanted to see, the future she was building with her own hands. But before the new semester began, she wanted to seize every moment of her final weeks at home. On August 6th, her family returned from a short weekend trip. Their home was cluttered with unpacked bags and the noise of tired voices. Savannah hurried upstairs as soon as they arrived, eager to change into workout clothes. She had recently bought a new bike, a bright purple one with reflective tape she had applied herself, and she had barely had time to use it. She told her mother, Vanessa, that she was biking over to her boyfriend Ethan's house just 2 miles away. It was a route she'd taken dozens of times, a simple, familiar path through the community garden trail. Savannah kissed her mother goodbye and pedaled down the sidewalk with the confidence of someone who believed tomorrow was guaranteed. But tomorrow wasn't promised, and Savannah never came home. At 7:40 p.m., Ethan called Savannah's house. His voice cracked with worry. He explained that Savannah had left his house over an hour earlier, but never made it home. Her phone was off, or dead, or something worse. Vanessa's stomach dropped instantly. A mother knows when something is wrong. That kind of dread doesn't need proof. It arrives fully formed. Within minutes, the entire family was out searching. Cars rolled slowly along the garden paths. Flashlights scanned bushes and trails. Ethan ran the path on foot, shouting her name over and over until his voice went hoarse. No one found Savannah. Not a shoe, not a tire mark. Not a single clue. At 10 p.m., a neighbor called Vanessa in panic. The garden walkway. It's blocked off by police. You need to get down here now. Blue and red lights washed over the trees as Vanessa arrived. Officers formed a barrier, refusing to let her cross. They wouldn't answer questions. They wouldn't confirm anything. They just kept repeating protocol phrases that offered no comfort. Vanessa crumpled to her knees, sobbing. She already knew something terrible had happened. By dawn the next morning, search teams and detectives were swarming the garden trails. K-9 units wove through flower beds and dense shrubbery. Drones buzzed overhead. Volunteers showed up by the dozens. At 6:40 a.m., investigators found what they feared most. The flower beds near Orchid Trail were destroyed. Soil kicked up, plants crushed, leaves scattered like confetti after a violent struggle. Something had happened there. Something brutal. Something desperate. And at the far border of the garden, they found Savannah's purple bike. The handlebars were twisted. The frame was bent. It wasn't dropped. It had been thrown. Nearby, they found a single gardening glove, Savannah's broken bracelet, her earring, and a man's wristwatch lying cracked in the dirt. It didn't take a detective to see the truth. Savannah had been ambushed. She fought back. She resisted. She fought with everything she had. But someone stronger overpowered her. Detectives began questioning neighbors and workers near the garden. One gardener stood out immediately. He described seeing a man acting suspiciously behind a greenhouse the day Savannah disappeared. He kept dragging something, like a tarp or a bag, the gardener recalled. And he kept looking over at the path like he was waiting for someone to walk by. When detectives asked who the man was, the gardener didn't hesitate. Russell Trent. He owned a plant nursery not far from the garden. A quiet man, odd but polite. Someone who blended into the background, but the gardener added something else. Russell asked about Savannah a few weeks ago. Asked if she came here often. I thought it was strange. That changed everything. Detectives visited Russell's nursery around noon. He was watering plants when they arrived, but he fumbled the hose the moment he noticed them. His hands shook. His eyes darted between the officers and the back greenhouse. Detectives immediately noticed scratches on his face. Long, fresh, raw. His arms were bruised. His fingernails were packed with dirt. His wrist was wrapped with a makeshift bandage. "What happened to your face?" they asked. "Thorns," he said quickly. "Roses tore at me." It didn't match the injuries. These weren't thorn scratches. They were defensive wounds. When investigators mentioned finding a watch at the scene, Russell's face tightened. His eyes widened. Just for a moment, but long enough for detectives to mark his reaction. His story fell apart instantly. He couldn't explain where he was the night Savannah disappeared. He didn't remember what time he went to sleep or woke up. He didn't know why he had dirt under his nails. He was a walking contradiction, a bundle of nervous tics and half-formed lies. Detectives left knowing they had just met their prime suspect. A background check confirmed their worst suspicions. 2 decades earlier, Russell had been arrested for attempting to abduct a young woman. The details were disturbingly similar. A secluded area, a struggle, and makeshift restraints. Yet he served only a small portion of his sentence and returned to the community without supervision. With this revelation, detectives secured a warrant to search his nursery. The greenhouse was ordinary at first glance. Rows of plants, gardening tools, neat compost piles. But behind stacked fertilizer bags, officers found a hidden door. And behind that door was a nightmare. The air was heavy with chemicals. A single bulb hung overhead, faintly illuminating the room. On the concrete floor were ropes, zip ties, duct tape, and an old metal chair bolted down with restraints attached. A stained tarp lay nearby, folded carelessly. Beneath a mound of loose soil in the corner, investigators found something that froze them in place. A torn piece of Savannah's tank top. Her necklace. Strands of her hair. This was where she had been held. This was where she had suffered. Russell was arrested immediately, but Savannah was still missing. Hours turned into days. The family's hope dwindled. And then a call came in. A farmer on the outskirts of the garden reported a patch of freshly disturbed soil, a mound of earth that didn't belong. Cadaver dogs were brought in. They alerted instantly. Detectives began digging slowly, with trembling hands. After only a few inches, fabric appeared. Then hair. Then the curve of a shoulder. Savannah had been buried shallowly, no more than a foot beneath the soil. Her hands were tied behind her back. Her ankles were bound to her wrists. Her mouth was obstructed, preventing air from passing through. The medical examiner confirmed the chilling truth. Savannah had been alive when she was buried. She died slowly. Terrified. Alone. Fighting for breath that never came. The trial moved quickly. The evidence was overwhelming. DNA linked Russell to the restraints and the greenhouse. Soil samples matched the burial site. Surveillance footage showed Russell near the garden the night Savannah disappeared. The jury deliberated for only 4 hours before delivering the verdict. Guilty on all counts, Russell Trent was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Vanessa stood in court, tears streaming down her face, and spoke directly to the man who took her daughter. "You didn't just kill her," she said. "You killed every dream she had, every moment she never got to live. You'll never understand what you destroyed." Russell didn't look up. He never apologized. He never showed emotion. He never explained why he did it. Some monsters don't need a reason. In the months after Savannah's death, the community came together to honor her memory. They built Savannah's Garden of Hope, a memorial in the very place she was taken from. Sunflowers and orchids, her favorite, bloom along the walking path. A plaque stands in the center. Her light lives here. Children play nearby. Couples walk quietly. Flowers sway gently in the wind. Life continues, but Savannah's absence is felt in every corner of the community. Her story remains a reminder. Evil can hide in ordinary places. Predators can blend into everyday life. And sometimes, the people we least suspect are capable of the darkest things. Savannah Johnson deserved a full lifetime of sunrises, laughter, adventure, and love. Instead, her life was stolen in the quiet of a garden she trusted. Yet her legacy, her joy, her strength, her spirit continues to grow, one flower at a time.